So today I'm going to be testing out basically every single mic I own in the recording setting that I'm probably going to be using for the next little while. So I want to see how everything sounds, see what's most ideal, as well as just have a better understanding of how the mics work and which is better in which situation. So yeah, that's this video. Alright, the first mic up is the Neewer NW-81 small diaphragm electret condenser microphone. There's a few different ways to use the mic, so this is the first test running over phantom power into my Tascam DR60D Mark II on the normal setting. It's just out of frame right here. Yeah, and then I'm also going to compare it to the lav mic, which is the JK mic 012 or something like that, running into my Tascam DR05X. Yeah, so that's test number one. Alright, so this is the second test, still running over phantom power into the Tascam DR60D Mark II. Is on the telescopic setting, which I believe, from what I can read on the Amazon listing, switches it from it says at least that it switches it from a cardioid pickup pattern to a supercardioid. I haven't taken it apart. I don't necessarily know the inner workings of it. So that's test number two. So now, same mic, using battery power over XLR into the Tascam recorder on the tele setting, so that it should be supercardioid as opposed to cardioid. I didn't have to adjust the gain much, which I was kind of expecting to, but so that was interesting. And then here's the comparison to the lav mic. Just throwing a comparison to the camera's internal audio. Yeah. Now I'm running the Neewer NW-81 over battery power with the XLR to 3.5mm connector into the Tascam. Here's the comparison to the lav mic. Here's the built-in camera mics. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Now I have it running still over battery and 3.5mm, but it is on the tele setting now. So I'm just very curious to see how that compares. Yeah. And now here's the lav mic. And here's the camera's built-in mic. Alright, now I have the Neewer NW-81 running over battery power with the XLR to 1/4 inch running into my Tascam DR60D Mark II. Check the levels. It should be about the same level as the other ones, and I will probably normalize it in post to get it all to be about the same level. But yeah, here is the lav mic, and now here is the internal camera mic. Okay, one more test to run with this mic, and then I'm switching mics. Alright, now all I've done is change it to the tele setting and adjust the gain accordingly. So it's still battery powered with a single AA battery, running over XLR to 1/4 inch into the Tascam DR60D Mark II. Yeah, here is the comparison to the lav mic, and then here is the camera's internal mics. I have now switched to the Takstar SGC-600, a little $30 on-camera supercardioid shotgun. mic, running over 3.5mm into the Tascam DR60D. It is just out of frame on the flat profile. And now here is the lav mic. And now here is the internal camera mic. Now I've switched the mic to the low cut profile to see if that helps with the rumble of everything around, because that's what it's designed to do. And then still boomed just out of frame, plugged directly into the Tascam recorder. Yeah. And now here is the lav mic. And now here is the internal camera mic. On to the next test. And now I have the Takstar SGC-600 mounted on my camera, pointed at me, plugged directly into the camera on the flat profile. So yeah, that's how that sounds. And then here is the lav mic. And now here is the internal camera mic. And now I've flipped the switch from the flat to the low cut to see how that sounds. So yeah, hopefully it improves something, I don't know. And now here is the lav mic. And now here is the internal camera mic. Now I have the Rode VideoMicro mounted on a boom pole just out of frame, plugged into my Tascam DR60D Mark II. It runs over 3.5mm. I have the level adjusted, so it should be roughly the same to the other mics. And then here is the lav mic. And then here is the camera's built-in mic. Alright, now I have the Rode VideoMicro mounted to my camera in the same place the Takstar was mounted, plugged directly into the camera. I think it auto levels. So there's that. Here is the comparison to the lav mic. And then here is the camera's built-in mic. Now I have one of my LyxPro small diaphragm pencil condenser microphones. It comes in a set of 2 with 3 capsules each, an omnidirectional, a cardioid, and a supercardioid. Right now I have the cardioid capsule on there. So yeah, there's that. It's boomed just out of frame. It's got a little foam windscreen on it, running with phantom power over XLR into my Tascam DR60D Mark II. So yeah, there's that one, and then I will switch the capsules to the supercardioid and we'll see how that sounds. Oh, real quick, here is the comparison to the lav mic, and then now here is the comparison to the camera's internal mic. And now I have the same LyxPro small diaphragm pencil condenser with the supercardioid capsule on. Not to be biased going into it, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the one I want to use out here. I've done a little bit of testing with the mics, and this mic sounds really good, and it's good value. And then the supercardioid should allow me to have the sound be more focused on my voice. But yeah, so we'll see. And then now here is the comparison to the lav mic. And now here is the comparison to the camera's internal mic. Alright, now for the conclusion. It has been several months since I filmed the earlier part, and then I spent a while editing and doing other things, and I forgot to come back to it. I think I filmed it all in May, and it is now August. But anyways, I'm gonna do a conclusion. I'm gonna finish what I started. Starting off with the Neewer NW-81. The first test, I think I'll play it. Alright, the first mic up. It sounds really bad. I don't really know what happened in the first test. I think that was just, I set something up wrong for that one because it seemed to sound a lot better in all the other ones, so I'm just gonna say that one was user error. But yeah, that's the first test. The test right after it, there was some, like I noticed some electrical noise. So that's test number 2. I don't think I noticed that in any of the other ones. I think it was just that one. Overall, my favorite setting for that mic is battery powered over XLR in the tele mode. Overall impression of the mic is it's decent for $30. It sounds alright. I mean, it can sound alright if you do everything right. It doesn't isolate the subject from the background noise very well. Like, you could very clearly hear everything happening around me. But like, in a pinch, it's a pretty solid mic. So yeah, that's my impressions of the Neewer NW-81. Moving on to the Takstar SGC-600. When I had it boomed, I didn't really notice any difference between the normal and the low cut, but I definitely don't think I noticed any, like, it didn't make it sound worse when I switched to the low cut, so I think I would just use that normally just in case there's some wind, because when I put it on the camera it was a lot windier out here and you could really tell, and the low cut helped a lot with that. It also doesn't do the best job isolating my voice from the background noise, but it did a pretty good job. I think overall it was a little bit worse than the Neewer. But yeah, so overall, again, for like $30-35, solid mic, pretty good on the camera. Overall, pretty happy with it. It's not bad. And then comparing the Takstar to the Rode VideoMicro, when they were boomed, it was pretty, they sounded pretty close to the same. I think the Rode did a little bit better about isolating my voice from the background noise, but it was pretty minor. So if you have the mic like boomed right up next to you, either one's pretty solid. On the camera, I noticed that the Rode VideoMicro was significantly better. I don't know significantly, but it was definitely better. There was a lot less background noise. My voice sounded a little fuller. So when it's on the camera, I definitely prefer the Rode VideoMicro, but they're both solid mics. And then the last mic, the LyxPro, testing both the cardioid and supercardioid capsule, I didn't really notice that much of a difference. They both sounded really good. It was my favorite mic out of all of them. It was the most expensive mic, but it was my favorite. My overall conclusion is all of the mics are definitely usable. They sound better than the built-in camera mic. I liked the lav mic. My favorite mic is the LyxPro, followed by the Rode VideoMicro. The Neewer was a bit finicky, but if you play around with it, you can definitely get a good sound out of it. I like the Takstar. It's good for the price. But to me, it just didn't sound as good as the Rode VideoMicro. And overall, yeah, that's the end of my conclusions. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. I'm probably gonna be doing better about filming videos and getting videos out. I have a few ideas. It's not all gonna be like camera stuff. I have some server maintenance and stuff that I want to do, and there's also some projects I want to work on with like Raspberry Pis and virtual machines and all that stuff, so that should be coming out hopefully soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.